All right, welcome to Stillwater Stars Media Day. Stillwater Stars are a first-year TBT participant competing as an Oklahoma State alumni team. They will compete on July 4th at 5 p.m. against Team Brotherly Love, ESPN. We'll be joined by multiple team members throughout the next hour, starting first with Coach Bryndon Manzer. Bryndon, you are the first head coach of the Stillwater Stars. Just give us your thoughts on leading this team in their first year and the tournament as a whole.
Yeah, Jake, I mean, it's a great opportunity, and obviously pleased to be here. And, the TBT has made such an impression on players all around the world. And I know that especially those former Oklahoma State guys wanted to get something together. And our general managers, Caleb Surley and Jeff Barr, have done a great job and asked me to be a part of it. And it's a lot of fun because really, my job, these guys know how to play. They're pros. We're just getting familiar with each other and going to go give it what we can. I'm just managing these guys, really, Jake. Just another set of eyes on the sidelines for them over the course of the tournament.
All right, we have some questions here from media. Anyone interested in asking a question, please use the raised hand function, and we'll get to you shortly. First, Chris Becker. Chris, go ahead.
Coach, you have a lot of young guys, some who even played this last season at OSU. How much does having guys like that who have played so recently help you prepare for the tournament coming up? Yeah,
no, we've got a little youth on this team. So we have 3 guys that are 22 years old, and Thomas Dziawga and Armani Brooks and then James Banks. But a lot of energy. I mean, already our practices have been great. Our camaraderie has been great. We had some last-minute changes like a lot of teams have in this unique environment. 4 people that we expected to be with us in the last, or the 36 hours prior to coming aren't here. And so those young guys have added a lot. And it's going to be a great experience for them to play against some of the best players in the world, to showcase their talents. And part of it, too, we want to go win games and make a run and try to win the money, obviously. But, exposure for these guys and the opportunity to showcase who they are against these great players. So they've provided a lot and a lot of good energy, and they're smart and they're tough and they've been well coached. And I'm excited for their opportunity Saturday to go out and show everybody what they have.
Thank you.
Next question here from Jacob Unruh. Go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, I was kind of curious. You're pretty much the only ones playing basketball right now with everything going on in the world. How do you anticipate this atmosphere and working through all that without fans and going through the testing all the time and things like that?
Yeah, Jacob, how you doing, man? Hey, it'll be interesting. It will really be like, playing at the park or at a gym, and particularly with the Elam ending, where under 4-minute part of the fourth quarter, you stopped the clock. You had 8 points to the leading team, and you get after it. So, I think maybe you'd be concerned about intensity and energy and those type of things if you're playing with young kids. But when you're playing with pros, guys that have been on the road, they play in all kinds of environments. Obviously, you'd love to have the fans here, and this year we can't do that. But not concerned about it. But I think it'll feel a lot like real basketball. Everybody that's here, including our team, is here because they love to play. And most, if not all, of these guys are playing professionally. So it'll be interesting in terms of not normal circumstances, but I think it's going to be great basketball. It'll still be intense. And these guys, everybody wants to go win.
Is there any concern with the testing and things like that you guys have to go through?
Not really. I mean, TBT, they've been incredible in terms of, nobody's done this. And we tested multiple times before we came here. We're testing daily now. And I think once you get inside the bubble, chances are that you're going to be good. So they're doing a terrific job of making sure everybody's healthy, everybody's safe, trying to do it the right way, in a way that there's no template for it. And so they've done a terrific job. But we don't have any concerns about that. And in some ways, it's been nice because we quarantine only with our individual teams. Our 7 players and Jeff Barr and I, I think as quick as you can, created some chemistry and camaraderie. And Jeff and I were just talking a few minutes ago, how good a group of guys we have. And ultimately, it's about developing relationships anyway. So in that sense, it's been really nice.
All right, thanks.
You bet.
Next question here from TJ Eckert. Go ahead, TJ.
Hey, Bryndon, TJ Eckert from Channel 8 up in Tulsa. I'm curious how the opportunity came about for you to coach this team and what made you want to end up doing it.
I evidently didn't have a whole lot of options, TJ. But, no, just, it was originally an Oklahoma State-based team. And obviously my ties to OSU and still being around it through calling games for Oklahoma State and within the Big 12, I think, was part of it. But when Caleb and Jeff called me, I think they also knew that my personality might be conducive to this. Because, again, it's not really, I'd love to have time to put in Eddie Sutton or Mr. Iba's half-court defense and do lots of things offensively. But in this kind of situation, I mean, these guys know how to play. And our point guard play, those 2 guys we stole from Kansas, Tyshawn Taylor and Nadir Tharp, have great resumes. They're smart. They're tough. And they have really led a lot of our practices, and at least offensively. And so I think that helps. I'm the type of person, I feel like I know my role. And I feel like more like a manager than I do a coach. And I think that probably weighed in to the decision of asking me to do it, which I was happy to do.
And you may have cut out there when we answered that part. I apologize if you just did. But do you have coaching experience at all? And do you feel a little bit of pressure going into this?
I do have coaching experience. I don't feel a whole lot of pressure. I mean, obviously, if we do well, that looks good on all of us, right? But yeah, when I got at Oklahoma State, I was a head coach at the age of 24 in a small college. So I had 6 years of head coaching experience, 20 plus years ago. So there's that, and I've been involved in basketball ever since, and been around the highest level of competition and calling 35 to 40 games, mostly within the Big 12 over the last 12, 15 years. So I've been around some good ones. And so, yeah, I'm comfortable. I mean, I don't know if that makes me somebody that do a great job or not, but feel comfortable. We got the right kind of guys. But I do have enough experience that I can draw upon, at least in game situations. I've been there and had to make decisions before, and I did that at a young age. Hopefully I'm a little bit smarter 20 plus years later.
Thanks, Bryndon. I appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks, TJ.
Next question here from Garen Emming. Go ahead, Garen.
Bryndon, what do you say, man? Good to see you again.
What's up? Yeah, thanks for checking in with us.
Could I get you to put your college basketball analysis cap on for just a second?
Absolutely. What
would you think about delaying the start of the college hoop season to say January to try to buy a little time on this on the COVID situation?
Well, I mean, I think if they thought that was the best thing to do, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the priority is to keep everybody safe and healthy. And as everybody knows, no matter what profession you are, what walk of life, or what country you live in, I mean, this has been a unique thing. And it's I think it's been really hard, and I have a lot of admiration for those people that have had to make decisions, whether it's to start sporting events or when to bring your employees back, or just us as individuals when to get back out in the world. And so everybody's feeling their way through that. But if that were the case, they can make it work. I mean, I don't see any reason why that, wouldn't be a positive if they had to. I hope that sports organizations are optimistic and find a way to make things happen. I mean, the TBT has done that this upcoming week. So, I don't have strong opinions either way. I hope that we play, but I think if the powers that be or those that make the decision think that's what we should do, then we'll support it and make do like we've all been doing.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, thanks. Have fun with this, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll see you back in Oklahoma.
Next question here from TJ Eckert. Go ahead, TJ.
Was my hand still raised? Whoops. My bad. I'll ask a question. Why not?
Come on, TJ.
What kind of – my bad. I'm technology, man. Whoops. What kind of style of play you expecting out of these guys? Is this something – you were mentioning it there earlier when you were answering my question. What kind of style of play you thinking offensively?
Well, most everybody in this tournament is going to play fast and push, get into early offense. And in these things, typically, I mean, there's different things game to game, but there's going to be a lot of switching, and you're looking for matchup opportunities. Obviously, you want to have good ball movement. You don't want it to stick. I mean, whatever you're running, you gotta cut hard, screen well, slip on switches, all those things. And so, we have 7 guys, and it's not a secret that we're pretty guard oriented, but we're pretty good, and we have kind of some different pieces. And so we're going to push and get after it. And most teams are more interested in scoring than they are playing defense, and particularly in this thing. And I don't even mean that as a slight. It's just kind of the nature of it. So teams will play quick, fast, and get matchups that they think are favorable, and they'll try to exploit them. And then, in the end, it comes about making plays, especially when everybody has guys that can make plays.
Thanks, Bryndon. Sorry about that, Jake.
No worries. Last question here before we move on to Thomas Dziawga is from Chris Becker. Chris, go ahead.
Coach, you mentioned Coach Sutton earlier. You were in the documentary on Monday. What did you think of it? And did you guys get to watch it together, the team?
Yeah, well, we did get to watch it as a team because we were coming in at different times on Monday night, and Jeff Barr and I arrived at the same time, and I think it was about halfway through the documentary, so we got to see some of it. I fortunately had seen it a couple times. I thought it was great. I don't think there's any question. I thought Bill Self said it well in the documentary. He said there's not been 10 better basketball coaches in the history of our game, particularly college basketball. I don't think that there's any question about that. I mean, whatever personnel he had, and I've always said this, you got the NCAA tournament. And then in the years that he had horses, a Bryant Reeves or a Tony Allen, a Desmond Mason, or some of these guys, then he would make a run. It showed that side of it, but it showed the human side of Coach Sutton. And all of us have chinks in our armor. Most of mine are not out there in the public like Coach Sutton's were. But one of the things I've always loved and admired about my former coach was he always got up off the mat, and he was a great leader and took responsibility and rose to the occasion. So I thought it was great, and hopefully people got to see a full view of Coach Sutton, but also his family, which by the way happens to be a great family.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Coach, any parting thoughts here before we let you go?
Well, Jake, we're excited. I love our guys. Some of these guys I didn't know. I knew of all of them, but didn't know well yet until we got here. And quickly, they're a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to Saturday, and also looking forward, hopefully, to continue relationship with these guys. But team brotherly love is way good. They've got experience. They're tough. A lot of guys that are scorers. We got a really tough first-round matchup. I think with some of the pieces they've added also that they're better than they were last year, even the last couple of years, which is saying a lot. But our guys love a challenge, and we'll go see what happens, and we'll take our 7 and do the best we can.
Thank you, Coach. We'll be on with Thomas shortly. All right, we're now joined with Thomas Dziawga, recent Oklahoma State graduate, first-year member, Stillwater Stars. Thomas, just talk about first year playing in TBTs, the excitement of wearing an Oklahoma State jersey and now joining the Oklahoma State alumni team straight out of school.
The opportunity is amazing. I feel blessed that Caleb and them and Jeff allowed me to play with the squad. And anytime I get the opportunity to represent Oklahoma State, I think that's a blessing within itself. And I'm ready to play with the Stillwater Stars on my chest.
Question here from Frank Bonner. Go ahead, Frank.
Hey, Thomas, good to see you again. How you doing?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm good. Looking at the circumstances, not necessarily having a lot of opportunities to get out there and run like this, how beneficial is this for you to have a serious run and staying in shape and getting some exposure?
I think it's great. Since I'm coming straight out of college, I think it'll give me the opportunity to play in front of people and showcase what I can do. But just having competitive practices like we've been doing, having like one-on-one and three-on-three and stuff like that, and especially with a talented group like this, it's just raising my competitive spirit, and it's making me better. I learn from these guys every day, and just having the opportunity to be on the court again with people that are in love with the game is just great.
That's good. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Next question here from Marshall Scott. Go ahead, Marshall.
Hey, Thomas. I was just wondering, what's it been like for you to get to know the older guys, particularly LeBron and Brian Williams? Has that kind of been cool? You obviously share the commonality of Oklahoma State, but you guys were there at different times. What's that been like?
I think it's been great. A lot of stories are being told. And then there's the old saying of like, once you're a part of the Cowboy family, you get treated like family. And this is like the first time I've met B-Will and LB, and they really treat me like family, and hopefully I've treated them like family. So once you get into the Oklahoma State family, you're treated like family till you're buried 6 feet in the dirt, I guess. I mean, obviously the game stopped bouncing for me at Oklahoma State and for them, and they still treat me like family. So.
We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Next question here from Chris Becker. Go ahead, Chris.
Thomas, a lot of shooting power on this team. You guys been able to learn off of each other and prepare for this tournament?
Can you ask that again? Sorry, you broke up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. A lot of shooting power on this team. How have you guys been able to learn from each other and prepare for this tournament with all this shooting power?
I've learned a lot. I learned a lot from Coach Manzer. I learned a lot from, Monty and stuff. And then I've learned a lot from Nadir and Tyshawn. Nadir and Tyshawn were great players in college, and they were coached by a Hall of Fame coach. And they give me little pointers here and there. And then obviously I've learned from Amani. He was coached in Houston by a great coach, but Coach Sampson and stuff. So I've learned little pointers here and there that they picked up from their coaches, and it's really like a big melting pot of knowledge that they're just sharing with one another. And I'm very appreciative to everything they say, and I'm like a sponge, and I'm just trying to soak it up.
Thank you, Thomas. Hopefully we see the arrow a lot this week.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Next question here from Marshall Scott. Go ahead, Marshall.
Sorry, I kept my hand raised. But what – shoot, I forgot what I was saying.
All right, we'll come back to you. Next question here from Jacob Unruh. Go ahead, Jacob.
Hey, Thomas, how's it going?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing well. Hey, I'm curious. There's not going to be any fans. Completely different atmosphere. Are you concerned about not having fans? How do you approach that? Because a lot of times players feed off fans.
I think it's not going to be that much different, to be honest. When we practice, you don't practice in front of fans. When you have scrimmages with like inter squad stuff in college, you don't really practice or scrimmage in front of fans. So at the end of the day, it's just basketball, and only 10 guys are allowed on the court. So I don't think it's rocket science. I mean, having no fans there will change the energy a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's 5-on-5 and it's basketball. So I don't think it'll be a big difference.
Also, you guys only have 7 players. Brother Love, I think, counted 11 a little bit ago. You've been in that situation with a thin roster before. How do you approach that on Saturday?
Well, only 5 guys can play on the floor at one time for your team. So the other 6 guys on their bench and the other 2 guys on our bench, they really can't contribute to the game until they get on the court. So I was telling one of the guys the other day that we went through the Big 12 with 7 scholarship players for 16 games, and at the end of the day, only 5 guys can play for a team. So I don't think it's that big of a difference. I bet Coach will use his timeouts great and media timeouts and stuff like that. And I'm not too worried about having 7 guys on our team.
Thanks, Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Next question here from TJ Eckert. Go ahead, TJ.
Hey, Thomas, just curious. Early March was the last game y'all played in. Well, it would be about 4 months. Any concern about level of play or sharpness in play, or is everybody kind of on a level playing field at that point?
Well, there's a lot of pros here, so I'm assuming that when they go to their respected areas, they have a gym and a weight room to get into. So I feel like maybe there might be a little bit of rust in like the first couple minutes of the game, but once you get the jitters and the rust out, I think it's kind of just what you do. A lot of these guys play basketball for a living, and that's what they do. So I think once the rust of maybe not playing for 4 or 5 months, once the rust gets off, I think it'll be back to normal basketball.
You hit on the opportunity to get to play some meaningful minutes, some competitive minutes, competitive games. How nice is that, as opposed to just shooting in the gym by yourself or you doing some pickup run or whatever with some friends?
I think it's great. Anytime you have the opportunity to play with high-level players like we have on this ball club, I think it's great. You learn from them, and your competitive nature just comes out. So I think it's great to have a 5-on-5 game with refs, like everything, and I just think it's going to be beneficial to everybody on the team.
Appreciate it, Thomas. Thanks. Nice hoodie, man.
I appreciate that.
Question here from Jacob. Go ahead, Jacob.
Oh, geez, I didn't lower my hand either, but I can come up with a question real quick for you, Thomas. You mentioned this was it for you. What are your plans after this?
Well, I signed with a European agent, and the plan is after this, go over to Europe. Still filling some things out over there, but that's the plan right now. But I'm really just taking it day by day, trying to get better. And right now the goal is to win games in the TBT, and we have a game this Saturday, so that's the goal.
Thanks, Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Question here from Marshall Scott. Probably our last question for Thomas before we move on to Brian.
Yeah, that was kind of my question, is just how has it been kind of trying to navigate pursuing a pro career with all that's going on in the world right now?
It's definitely a unique situation. COVID has obviously put a wrench in some plans for everybody, with workouts and financial for teams and everything. So the coronavirus pandemic has halted a lot of things, but at the end of the day, that's not something that I can control. The things that I can control are just trying to be the best I can be every single day, and that's kind of what I focus on. So I think the timing of everything will happen when it happens, and I try not to focus on that stuff.
Thanks, Thomas.
Yes, sir. Have a nice day.
All right, we thank Thomas for his time, and we'll be bringing on Brian Williams momentarily.
That's fine.
All right, joined by Brian Williams now. Brian, if you're just going to open things up real quick before we allow some questioning.
Okay.
Go ahead, opening statement about playing in TBT.
I'm excited to play. It's been way too long since I've been on the court, and I'm glad to get this opportunity to play with some people I'm familiar with, get a chance to compete and make some money. So it's a win-win.
Talk about being able to reunite with some of these guys to play, with Oklahoma State on your chest again, so to speak. How excited are you to kind of represent the school one more time?
I'm very excited, man. Time's flying. I've had that jersey on my chest in 20 years. Out there and be able to represent my alma mater should be fun.
There's some other guys on this team that are non-Oklahoma State, but obviously very talented. What have you seen out of Armani, James, Tyshawn, et cetera?
Leadership and confidence out on the floor. Clearly we kind of shorthanded, so everybody has to do a little bit more, but everybody looks comfortable in what we're doing so far.
The camaraderie of this team, obviously, you have to kind of get things together in a short amount of time. But given the practice time that you had together and sort of spending time together off the court, how are things looking at the moment?
It's looking pretty good. Had to get sharp fast. We don't have a ton of practice time, so we had to get everything we can done. Get out there, get shots up, try to get conditioning, and get ready to get out there and compete.
Question here from Marshall.
Brian, if I'm not mistaken, your career at Oklahoma State kind of overlapped with LeBron Nash. Just have you kept in touch with him, and kind of what's it been like getting to kind of rekindle that relationship?
That's cool. I see him around the country every now and then, bumping each other, either working out from body or playing ball, and then we keep up on social media as well. He's a good dude, man, and always fun to compete with.
Next question here from TJ Eckert. Go ahead, TJ.
Yeah, Brian, make sure I have the timeline right. What year did you leave OSU, and what have you done since you left?
I left in 2014, was last year, and I played a year at Louisiana, and then I've been playing pro, kind of bouncing around Europe, Asia. I played a season in the G League, just taking whatever I can get.
Appreciate you, Brian. Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Brian, how do you think your game has grown since you've left Oklahoma State?
Just seeing the game a little bit better. When I was at Oklahoma State, I was doing everything 1,000 miles an hour. Now I'm older, so you got to kind of slow down a little bit and read the game, know your teammates, and just continue to develop.
What has the support been like from Oklahoma State fans? Have you seen anything on social media about how excited they are to watch you guys play? Oh, yeah, it's a lot of hype around it, especially because it's the only basketball going on right now. So the fans seem excited on Twitter and Instagram, so we try to give them a show. Do you feel like this opportunity being on ESPN, basically the only basketball, as you try and take that next step in your playing career, this could be a really solid opportunity? Oh, for sure. I definitely think that's a lot of people are here. You've seen a lot of late additions to the team. Guys are trying to get recognized out here, so try to get up there. Question here from Scott Marshall.
Thomas mentioned that you Oklahoma State guys have kind of shared some stories on how things have been. What's it been like getting to know Thomas in particular?
Good time to cut him off.
We lost Marshall for a second. Good. Marshall, want to give it a try again?
So Thomas mentioned that you Oklahoma State guys have kind of shared some stories back and forth. What's it been like getting to know him?
Oh, it's been great, man. It's a cool dude, hard worker, shooter. It's cold at Oklahoma State anyway, so he fits right in with me and LeBron. And if we had the original roster, he would have fit right in with those guys too.
Appreciate it.
Ryan, as for the veteran or one of the veterans on this team, do you feel like you're kind of taking these guys under your wing a little bit, or at least some of the younger guys, and trying to be a veteran? Well, the way the game is now, man, the young guys know what they're doing too. We try to give them, knowledge when we can, just from the game experience, but they're coming in here with a ton of confidence and ready to play. We believe in them. All right, and one more question here from Jacob. Go ahead, Jacob.
Hey, Brian, I'm kind of curious. What's the bubble like?
Oh man. It's interesting to say the least. It's not just laid up in the room playing the game or watching movies or something, man, and practicing what we can. It's not a lot going on. A lot of code testing.
All right, Brian, any parting thoughts or words for Oklahoma State fans on what they can expect from you guys on Saturday?
Good brand of basketball. We all work hard. We're going to share the basketball and defend. So y'all tune in July 4th at 5 p.m. Yeah.
All right. We thank Brian for his time, and we'll bring on LeBron and Nash momentarily. All right, we're now joined by LeBron Nash. LeBron, if you want to just kind of give an opening statement on rejoining with some of your former teammates and wrapping up with Oklahoma State and TBT.
It's been good, TBT for letting us come here and play basketball is always great. When you love this game, you geared up for anything. And obviously, play with your former teammates is, best and play against some guys I play against, obviously, the Kansas guys, obviously I know their game and stuff playing against them. And, we just got a team full of young guys too. So, there's also being a leader and showing them because we already overseas and they can do the same thing we do.
If I remember correctly, you were one of kind of the driving forces behind making this team happen. What were you so passionate about trying to get this Oklahoma State team together?
Just watching it every summer, watching the TBT, watching how, better players just come every summer. And I just wanted to be a part of that and just, showcase that Oklahoma State, we had a team too, we was a good team. And so, a bunch of these guys want to prove that we still here. We still want to make a name for ourselves, and it's a big stage to put it on.
Question here from Chris Becker. Go ahead, Chris.
Hello, Brian. What's it like representing Oklahoma State once again on a national stage?
It's always good. This is school I went to, so I work hard. Oklahoma State been good to me, especially being there, and I have my daughter there, so it's always great memories there. And when you put on Oklahoma State, old memory come back, and hopefully I can, produce like I did there, and produce here and put up better numbers that I did there.
Thank you, LeBron.
Question here from Marshall Scott. Go ahead, Marshall.
Yeah, LeBron, you and Marcus were the last five-star guys to go to Oklahoma State. Obviously, Case is coming next year. Has that kind of been cool for you to see another guy go to Oklahoma State like that?
Yeah, man. Oklahoma State got big in Dallas. Oklahoma State always recruited in Dallas. Obviously, like you said, me and Marcus. And Cam just another, one of the guys that wanted to come to Oklahoma State because of us. He watched us growing up and see how Oklahoma State treated us. And he always asked us about Oklahoma State, and we gave him the honest truth. And I think that took into his decision and making that decision to go to Stillwater because, the best basketball towns in the world.
Appreciate it.
Another question here from Jacob. Go ahead, Jacob.
Hey, LeBron, you mentioned you were instrumental in kind of getting this thing going. What was your role in kind of forming this team, and how much recruiting did you do of teammates?
I did a lot, I first hit up one of our managers. That's good. We good friends from Dallas, and we obviously went to Oklahoma State together. So I just hit him up because I know he had all the connects, and I know what he can do. Jeff Barr. We just went from there. I just hit almost everybody I played with, obviously, and everybody was in it. But obviously, COVID came around and stuff happens. But I think we still got a solid team and we're just ready to compete.
Yeah, I was curious, was the roster shortage, is that because of the COVID stuff? Is that where it happened to those guys?
Some guys just backed out at the last moment. Most of it is the COVID. We got a couple guys tested positive. I'm not gonna say their name because they obviously don't want their business out there. And obviously we picked up guys that we thought that, could help us out, and I'm glad we picked up some great players. Obviously.
All right, thanks.
All right, we'll take a final question or two for LeBron before we let him go here and bring on Tyshawn Taylor. We got one here from Garen. Go ahead, Garen.
Yeah. Hey, LeBron, you're linked, of course, to Marcus and Markel from your time at OSU. Do you still keep in touch with those dudes? When's the last time you hooked up with those two guys?
Yeah, like every guy I come around, I try to stay in touch with, especially if we vibe right and we good together. And obviously Marcus and Markel was good friends of mine at Oklahoma State. We on the court we played like we was good friends. Off the court we acted like we was good friends. And obviously Marcus from Dallas, and Markel comes to Dallas a lot. So I get to see him a lot. We play together and runs and. We just try to keep that friendship going because, friendships don't, last that long. So we try to keep ours going.
Where have you been playing the last few years, man?
I've been everywhere, man. I just came back from Argentina. And before that, I was playing in Japan. I just tore my Achilles prior to that. So, coming back from that injury is, something I want to showcase, obviously, on this platform and show that I'm still that same guy that can, dominate games.
Okay. Have fun with this.
Thank you.
All right. If we don't have any more questions for LeBron, we'll let him go and bring on Tyshawn Taylor momentarily. LeBron, thanks. And we're now joined by Tyshawn Taylor, an honorary Oklahoma State team member, I guess, for the time being. Tyshawn, you've played in TBT for so long now. Just let us know. Tell us what keeps bringing you back and the decision to link up with the Stillwater guys.
What keeps bringing me back to the tournament is, first of all, it's a great tournament. It gives guys the option to play some ball in summertime when, we're just home kind of hanging out or working out, preparing to go overseas or whatever. So it's a good opportunity. I think it's always that in the back of our heads, the opportunity to win a prize. I think that gives guys the motivation to want to come out in the summer and give these 2 weeks to the, commit these 2 weeks to the TBT. And just being, part of this little Stillwater Stars situation. I think, like Coach said earlier, I heard Coach said earlier, our guy Caleb, our GM Caleb, he did a good job of kind of, putting some things together. And, I came up on their radar. They asked me to play, and I was down with it.
Question here from Chris Becker. Chris?
Yeah, so, obviously, this isn't your first time in the tournament. The Elam ending is a little different from the basketball ending. What are your thoughts, and how are you able to adjust to that kind of ending?
I actually like that. I think it gives it more of a pickup vibe towards the end. So, I think guys are used to playing like that. So I think that'll be normal for some guys. And yeah, I think I'm excited about it. I think it's new. I think it gives a little change. But it gives guys a chance. It gives guys a chance to come back. It gives guys a game to just kind of ice it and get it over with. So I like the ending. I like the idea.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Question from Jacob. Go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, I've kind of asked just about everyone this. So what do you think about playing without fans in the stands? What's that going to be like?
Again, I think I personally like the idea of it. I think fans give the game a different feel, more excitement, more energy. But I like the, kind of pickup game vibe about it. I think you'll be able to hear guys talk and communicate. It'll be, and I think that's huge. Just playing with new guys, but just being able to communicate, and just giving it that complete just pickup game. Like guys are gonna just be out there playing hard, trying to win. Kind of feel. I'm excited about that. Actually, it'll be some good basketball.
On that same line, do you expect some trash talking to be heard then?
Absolutely. We were talking about that today. There definitely will be trash talk. Naturally, respectfully, naturally, it'll come in the game, just guys competing. But people will be able to hear it, which I think will make it a little different. But yeah, definitely be some trash talk though. On my end.
On your end, I'd say how much trash talking?
No, I'm just playing.
I was gonna say, is there a good trash talker on the team you're aware of yet?
I'm well aware of a lot of those guys, and there's not like one like personal trash talk. I think they're all competitive guys. It'll be fun. It'll be competitive. It'll be some trash talk for sure.
All right, thanks.
Tyshawn, you know a lot of the guys on Team Brotherly Love.
Mm-hmm.
Are you supplying the scouting report here, kind of helping along and letting your teammates know?
More than you even know, man. More than you even know. I got my guys on the scouting report. We good. We know who we're playing against. We're well prepared. We're gonna be all right.
Question here from Gary. Go ahead, Gary. Gary, go just unmute your mic.
Hey, Ty.
How you doing, man?
You heard from Coach Self or any of your teammates wishing you good luck?
I haven't yet. I actually talked to T-Rob, sent me a text a couple of days ago. I talked to Mario Little a couple of days ago, and then I'm here with Nadir. We talked to Travis on the phone a couple of days ago. So those guys wish me luck.
Any chance you'll have a KU team next year?
I don't know. I'm not opposed to it. Like I said, I like the TBT, and it'll be fun to always participate. So if that's the route we go, I'll be down for it.
And what kind of shape are you in physically?
Always in great shape, Gary.
Yeah. Well, thank you, sir.
No problem.
Tyshawn, playing in this event before, for some of the younger guys, especially you got 3 guys in this team that are just graduating college.
Mm-hmm.
What are you telling them about the style of play, the physicality, the intensity of TBT?
I think I'm kind of trying to say it a lot just so they kind of understand that it's going to be hard. I think they're familiar with some of the guys that are here, and they know it's competitive. They know some of the rosters, and it's going to be competitive. I think not having the fans and just kind of this whole being in the bubble thing, guys are kind of licking at their chops to kind of get out there. So to kind of boil that excitement up and kind of use it in the right way as far as playing together, using it on the defensive end, playing hard. It's an opportunity to showcase ourselves, but it's also an opportunity to win money. So if we can play the right way, play hard, I think we'll give ourselves the best chance.
You've been playing in TBT forever.
Yeah.
How has this event grown before your eyes?
I'm a veteran, TBT vet. I think I played in maybe the first or second one. And I missed maybe 1 or 2 here and there, but I've been consistently playing. And, like you said, it's grown every year, and I've been a part of it most of those years. So I've seen it firsthand how it's been just a growth of events just by, just the traveling, the arenas we're playing in, the competition, the level of competition. I think it's been an amazing opportunity for some guys to, like I said, win some money and just participate in just playing basketball in the summer, competitive ball in the summertime.
We'll take 1 or 2 more questions for Tyshawn if anyone has any. Tyshawn, wearing for an Oklahoma State style uniform, how weird is that going to be for you?
It's not going to be that weird because it's not like that orange. It's not so super orange, not like super orange. It'll be cool. It'll be chill. Won't be bad.
And any parting words for KU fans that might be tuning in, and for some Oklahoma State fans that are just going to be cheering you guys on in general?
KU fans, I love you guys. Always. Oklahoma State fans, hi. Tyshawn Taylor. I don't know if you guys know me. Hi. I'm happy to be a part of this with you guys, and I hope we could, build off this for you guys in the future, and for myself and everybody here, spending this time in this bubble.
All right, that will conclude Stillwater Stars Media Day. Thank everyone for coming out with their questions, and we'll be distributing MP4 files shortly. Thank you.